Greetings, friends. Greetings. I have been thinking about people we have met in life's journey, people who have become very special to us. And there are many of you we have not met, but we are grateful for your support, for your coming forward, and for being there for us. I really was doing this little video that you will see in a little while, trying to remind two friends in California, among other friends, but these two very special friends, that we remain very grateful for every inch of the way on our holiday in California, that they took good care of us. We went on a cruise, and I hope to show a little clip of Gary joining us on the rail and Joe just walking by quietly, unassumingly, very, very modest woman, and Gary a bundle of good fun. Good fellowship with him, good relationship. And it has also caused me to think about people who are special that you sometimes you forgot about. For instance, we were at Popeyes today, off the highway, on the way to Piaco there, and a young lady and an elderly lady came in, and one approached Louise, the young woman approached Louise, and it happened that she lived once in our Dinsley area right here. And she was very happy to see us. She was sad at the news of Leva's passing, but she was very happy to see us, mentioning a little bit about her family and her son growing and whatnot. You know, people we don't forget. We may not see each other for a long spell, but we don't forget them. Don't forget them. And then on the way back from Kelly Village, I asked Mama Lou to just slip into, the bakery there, near Starbucks, and bought a plat bread. You know that kind of plat bread, long time you have. It's kind of milky, it's buttery, it's nice. I know Santa likes it a lot. And then Mama Lou came up again with this little brown paper bag. I must be very special to Mama Lou, boy. I never asked her to buy this for me, But she, of her own free will, went and bought me a coconut drop. This bakery was once Linda's Bakery. I think it has changed hands now, but the quality is just as good. Look at this now. When Franklin and I worked on the truck for NP days and we would pass through Bayaro, we were stopping by maybe a Coca-Cola and a drop biscuit cake. You remember biscuit cake? Biscuit cake, and you had milk cake. Those were our favorite. And you chew this thing along all that drive through Manzanilla, and the breeze blowing, and the coconut trees there, and the road ahead, and you're only thinking about getting home. But this was sustenance. This coconut drop was the real thing. The real thing. So I am going to have this a little later with a cup of tea. I'm trying to cut off a little bit of the coffee, because the coffee is really kind of harsh on my system. Although tea is also, full of caffeine, they say, but it's less rigorous on the body. So, my friends, one of the projects I have for the future, and I've begun this morning to do a little research. Of course, it's all Google stuff, but I have some people in mind that I want to approach and ask them, what do grandparents really mean to grandchildren or to the society in Trinidad especially? I was very surprised when I was trying to locate which country is the most favored for grandparents. I was hoping somewhere in the West Indies that we would see some names cropping up, but everything is very European and oriented, very European oriented. So my big question here before I move on to that little clip there with Gary, what we did, Mama Lou and I saying thank you to the special couple in California. And then I will add that little clip that we did on the vessel, the Carnival Radiance, when it was pulling out of Long Beach to go to Catalina Island and then Ensenada. I want to find out, maybe you could help me, what really is the great relationship in the West Indies where grandparents are concerned? Because if these countries like Sweden and New Zealand and Switzerland, they're all rated as the number one in the world for where you have family values being projected, whatever happened in the West Indies? Whatever happened to the West Indies? Whatever happened in Trinidad? Have we forgotten the elderly in Trinidad? Have we forgotten that we have grandparents in Trinidad? And that there is that connection that could bring about a more stable society? Is it that all the grandparents are suddenly disappearing? Particularly the maternal grandparent. A lot of emphasis is placed on the maternal grandparent. Is it that in-laws are keeping away their children from grandparents? Of course, there's also the dependence on grandparents. But is it just a dependence to say, well, okay, I want to drop my kid by you at 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 6:30 in the morning. I get them back at 4 o'clock, and that routine goes on for a long spell? Whatever happened to is it that we have really cast aside the importance of grandparents as an integral part of our family? Or are they just being used, really? I met a man not too long ago, and I guess the hour was about maybe 1:30. And he was hustling to meet his grandchild, a certain area, and he says we have to line up. Now, this is a very elderly person I'm talking about. But is it just for the average grandparent that, especially the grandfather, that he goes and he meets? I have met some of them, even though in St. Augustine area. They're lining up there from 1 o'clock to maybe 2 o'clock to 2:30. And it is, somebody dropped them in the morning and grandparents have them in the evening. Or maybe grandparents have them in the morning and in the evening. Now, I know a little bit about that because I have run the gauntlet when it comes to carrying grandkids to school, and I know it's not an easy job. It's I would say perhaps a payless job, but it's not an easy job because you have to fight up now with the working traffic, and you have to fight up there with, things that are happening. But that is going to be part of my project. I need to find people to talk to them about West Indian grandparents, how they fit into society, how they assist society, and how much really they are loved by their grandchildren. So, I'm going to move on now in a little while, not to keep you in suspense really. This little brown paper bag was really something that my mother would have gone to Port of Spain, come back with the old man, and she would have had a little brown paper bag. I think I did a video some time ago, maybe over a year, about Mama Lou coming back from the mall with a brown paper bag. So time has elapsed, but Mama Lou is still doing it. The grandparent in Mama Lou, the maternal side of Mama Lou, is still evident. Her discomfort with her back doesn't stop her from being Mama Lou or Grandmama Lou. I want to confess though, my father's birthday was on the 23rd of this month. Lasana's was on the Sunday, I think it was, and on that is the 21st. I must say, I have been very neglectful. My mother and father are in the same little plot area there that they're buried there. I must say, I have been negligent in going to see them, going to the grave rather, and ensuring that it is in good order. I have found myself more inclined to go to leavers, but that should not be. That can't be right. So if I am publicly castigated for doing something like that, I am sorry. I really am very sorry. And Lasana is one for really going to a cemetery to look for his departed friends, to pay respects. I know Lasana has done this. And he said to me, Dad, we have to go to my grandfather's grave and see what is happening. So maybe I also have something in mind. How many of us would like to have our parents back in this life? If my father were alive today, he would have been clocking 118, which is vastly impossible. Vastly impossible. He would have been 118. I would hate to think what he would have been looking like and whose home he would be in and what stress it would be and what would have been the outcome of it. But I need to go. I need to see my father's grave. And if Lasana goes with me, that will be his grandson coming to visit their graves. And I am sure Lyndon will be part of it also because he is tender-hearted and he will assist. I'm sure the grave needs a little help. My nephew, Desmond Guevara, has in the past, I know, visited his parents' grave and his grandfather's grave, my father and mother's grave. And he has brought back pictures. So I know, Desmond, I want to publicly thank you for remembering your grandfather. But I need to find out what really is the score with grandparents in the West Indies. I have a wonderful woman in mind to check her out. She lives not far from here, and she has been in Africa. And I would like to know what is the status of the African grandparent, how they relate to grandchildren and the family as a whole. So, before much ado again, let's get into a little snippet of this. A bit sweet, but definitely I can taste the coconut. I like the color. The same as the smell food, but being so close to the nostril, it smells good. So man, let me move on to the second segment and add the third. And remember, friends, you're precious to us. We love you. And we're not doing this just to, they said that social media could take up a lot of your time. You could find yourself being exalted, but that's not the purpose of our channel. Our purpose is not to be exalted. It is to connect with everyday living. No frills, no beautification, just everything as it is. That's what we really want to project everyday life. So friends, thanks again. And let me see if I could just move on, accelerate this thing again. Thank you very much. Hello, Joe and Gary. Do you know what this is all about? This is all about saying thank you. Mama, look, just turn that around. Let's see what's written inside of it. Gary and Joe, we are indebted to you for the unforgettable love you lavished us with. both on land and on sea. Looking forward to having you in Trinidad anytime. Just move your finger there a little bit, Louise, time. Special regards to our dear friends, Love, Lance, and Louise. Let me tell you what this other site is. It's the thoughtfulness of people like you that makes the world so bright, so bright. No wonder we ended up in the Carnival Radiance. See, when is the next sailing together? Romance, 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 romance. So Gary and Joe, here is wishing you all the very best from Mama Lou. What is all of this about here now, Louis?
Well, we thought since we couldn't come to California, we could at least go to Louisiana. And we had some chicken and fried chicken and fries. And we thought, well, we were too full to have the dessert. So we want to share this with you all.
Right, my friends, right, my friends. A cup of coffee, Gary. Joe, a cup of coffee with an apple pie. I don't know if you all eat apple pie, but...
What is this from Louisiana, you know, Lance?
Louisiana, Louisiana.
So we are very happy thinking about you all. And thinking of our wonderful time. Sorry the setting can't be like how Gary would set us up for our pre-cruise. And then our post-cruise.
That's right.
Was just as good as our real cruise.
Yes, boy. Gary.
Thank you.
But you really treat me good. And here's a special shout out to Gary and Joe for all the good things they did for us. And you know what I think I'll do, Louise? We're selling this to them. What's up? But I'm going to add a piece on that occasion when they were both on the deck with us.
Very good.
Good. So fellas, look out for that on Lance and Louise, Trinidad. Okay, Gary. Okay, Joe.
Love you guys.
Yeah, man. Beautiful.
Come on, Gary. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry you didn't get his picture.
So that's Long Beach.
Way cool. Yeah.
Lovely afternoon for this.
There you go. See it?
The birds putting on a show, man. Did you see at one time there was some boats that